welcome to your first class. We're going to start standing up today and then we'll hop down on the floor. So we'll do a little stretch first, standing up. So we'll just start with our feet, hip distance apart. And I always just soften my knees, and then I just want you to stand up nice and tall. So whether you've been sitting, been at a desk, or you've been sitting for a little while, you sort of can often end up a little bit crunched up. So when you stand up tall, I want you to think of just lifting your ribs up away from your hips. So you've lengthened out through the waist, okay? And then just let your shoulders, your arms just feel nice and easy. Then we're just going to lift the shoulders up. So shrug your shoulders and then just let them come back and down. And lift them up, breathe in, and then breathe out. So you don't need to jam or force any movement that we do. You just move it easily and as smoothly as you can. So just shrugging up, use a breath in there, and then when you breathe out, your shoulders just slide down and you feel like there's length on the side of your neck. And again. Good, do one more. That's all right. And then we just reach our arms forward. We go out to the side and back and down. So we'll make our arms active, so strong, open, nice and wide, and then push down. Forward, wide, and then push. Forward, wide, push. Now we're going to add a little bend of the knee. So it just looks like this. It's like I'm going to sit in a chair, open and down. So I send the hips back. So forward, wide, and stand up. Forward, wide, stand up. So from the side, it just looks like this, like I'm going to sit down and push. Yep. So send the hips back. Let the weight be in your heels. This is good for our ankles, knees. Get a little fold of the hips, warm us up a little bit. We'll do two more together. Push down, that's it. And back. Good. Then I'll show you from the side. We're going to do a tip forward. So you put your hands on your hips, you soften your knees a little bit, and then you're just going to tip your body forward and send the hips back. This will give the back of the legs a really nice stretch. So don't lock your knees. That's it. And then just tip your body all the way back up. So soften the knees a little bit, send the hips back, fold here at the hip, and you want to keep your back flat. And the way I do that is thinking of lifting the chest forward and up. It makes my upper back work to hold that shape, and then just come back up. Okay? Little bend of the knees, you fold forward. Get that stretch at the back of the legs. And up, feels nice, doesn't it? Little bend. Forward with your body, back with the hips. Activating the upper back, drawing your tummy a little bit, and up. Last one. Get that stretch. And back and up. Good. We're going to hop down on the floor now, so just go ahead and lay down on your back, and then we'll do some exercises on the floor. So when you have your feet in line, just wiggle around to make sure your body's in a nice straight line. Hands down beside you. Let your lower back touch the mat. So just tilted the pelvis a little bit towards me. I'm not jamming my body or pressing down hard with my lower back. I'm just ever so slightly tipping the pelvis and then tipping the other way. So a little tilt of the pelvis and back. It's a very tiny move, and it's nice to breathe in when you reach the pelvis away from you, when there's a little bit more of an arch in the low back. And when your lower back just touches towards the ground, you're going to breathe out. And then you breathe in when there's a little bit more of a space here, and then you breathe out as the pubic bone comes towards the belly button. So breathe in as you reach away, and breathe out as you tip the bones of the pelvis towards you. So try not to squeeze your bottom as you do that move. You just want to think of the bones moving. And I want you to think of as the pelvis comes towards you and tips towards you, it's more like the abdominal muscles just draw in and up, and that's what pulls the pelvis towards you. So inhale and exhale. Inhale. Make it smooth, and you know it's really very small. No need to over-exaggerate this movement. It's just nice and easy. And then what we'll do is we'll just come back to where you feel like it's just the natural curve of your back, and I want you just to leave it nice and steady there. Reach your fingertips up to the ceiling with the palms facing inward. Then you're going to take your arms over your head and then bring them back up to point to the ceiling. When your arms go over, take a breath in and breathe out when they come back to the ceiling. So nice arc of the arms. Now, when you take your arms overhead, the thing I want you to think about is only going so far that you can keep the front of your ribs sinking down in towards your body. You know, sometimes, especially if I'm tight in my shoulders, to get my arms to touch the ground means my ribs pop out like this. So we don't want that. I'm just going to keep my ribs nestled in, and as the arms go over, I'm just going to, maybe they don't quite touch the ground depending on how your shoulders feel today. Okay, so just take it gently, see how you go. No, the aim isn't to get your thumb to touch the ground, it's to keep the ribs down. And you might find one arm can get to the ground more easily. That's super common to have one side that moves differently to the other. That's the good thing about Pilates. You know, you'll find that you'll notice things are different side to side, and we can work on bringing more alignment to our body this way. Okay. And then you just bring your arms down beside your body. Now from here, go back to thinking about the natural curve of your back, just keeping it in the natural curve. Okay, so there's a tiny little space in the low back there, and I'm just going to leave it there as I lift one leg up to tabletop, and then I'm going to bring it back and down, and then I'll lift the other leg up and put it down. So we call this just leg lifts. This is the tabletop shape, and back and down. So I'm really moving from the thigh bone. And see how you go, keeping, when the leg lifts up, you don't want to put your lower back down onto the mat. You just want to see if you can keep it nice and steady with just the natural curve of your back. So the way that helps me is to breathe out when I lift the leg. So if I breathe out, this can be a really good tummy exercise. So I feel that connection through the center to maintain the shape of my pelvis, and back and down. So I'm going to exhale, inhale, exhale. So I always find, you know, I put my hands on my body because it gives you good feedback. You can put your hands there on your hips. So as you switch from side to side, you're concentrating on being as steady as you can. Or if you've done this kind of move before and you feel like you can maintain that steadiness, you can always just put your hands down beside you. And then we're going to add the opposite arm. So as the leg lifts up, the opposite arm will come up to the ceiling. Get our coordination going, and then back and down. Other side. Good, that's the way. So still with the breathing out when we lift this time. Nice and steady through your pelvis and your trunk. Your feet are light, you're not gripping. Shoulders are easy. Just breathing out to lift up. Inhale back. Good. And then we'll take a change. So lift up opposite arm and leg, hold it like this. Then we reach the leg out long and reach the arm overhead. Bring it back and put it down. Then the same on the other side. So we go up, extend, back and down. up, reach, back, and down. So if you don't feel like the reach is a good idea for you, you want to keep your back really steady. And if you can't do that, just go back to the opposite arm and leg. You can always change it to do what feels right for you. That's it. We'll do a few more, making sure you're breathing nice and steady. You're not holding your breath. Do one more on each side. And back and down. That's the way. Now we're going to lift up our hips and do a bridge. So you want to bring your feet, not too far away from you. Just have them in quite close, a fist distance apart, and hands down beside your body. So if you have osteoporosis, you're going to do a bridge like this. You're going to push down with your feet, feel the whole sole of your foot down, and just push the hips straight up. Okay, and then you just let your body drop straight back down onto the mat. So keep going with that one. Otherwise, we're going to roll up through the spine. So you're going to, again, tilt the pelvis, feel the lower back touch the ground, and then roll up. So you just roll up through each bone until your hips are up and you're resting there on your shoulder blades. You aim your knees away from you. Make sure that your knees aren't flopping out to the side. And then you take a breath in and you softly roll back and down. So just melting down through your spine, moving through each part of your back. Okay, take a breath in at the bottom, and then as you breathe out, lower back touches the mat. You press down with your feet as the hips lift up. Open up your chest, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you soften your chest, soften the ribs, and lengthen your spine as you come all the way down. That's it. And we'll do a couple more. So we just push down with the feet to float. Aim your thigh bones, keep them in line. Deepen in through the tummy. That's it. And as you roll down, you can think of aiming your sit bones towards the back of your legs to the calf muscles to get that length on the way back and down. Last one. So enjoy the feeling of opening up through the front of your body when you lift up. So it's dropping down in the tummy, the ribs are sinking in. You've got all this strength at the back of you. The hamstrings, the glutes. Okay, even the upper arms are pressing down. And then as you come down, you let all that tight feeling or that strength just feel really soft. So you let go of the squeeze and you come all the way back and down. That's the way. The next thing we're going to do is interlace our hands and pop them behind the back of our head with our elbows just up off the floor a little bit. So I'm going to do a chest lift here, but there's something different. So if you have osteoporosis, I'll give you a different option. Okay, so let me show you the osteoporosis option first, which is legs up like this, and then we're just going to tap one toe down, lift it back up, and then the other. So go ahead and keep doing that if you have osteoporosis. If it's too much to keep both legs up, we go with one up, down, down. Okay? All right. Otherwise, we're doing a chest lift. So I'm going to take a breath in, and then when I breathe out, I'm just going to tuck the chin a little bit and lift up my head and chest. Now, see if you can keep your lower back just in that neutral shape like we've been thinking about, and then lay back down. And again. So as I lift up, I curl forward, let the ribs sink down. I'm keeping my tailbone heavy to keep the natural shape of my back. And that way you're really going to feel your abdominal muscles. And see if you can do this keeping your feet quite light. That's it. Good. We've got about 4 more to go. Don't hold your breath. I nearly did then. Exhale up. Inhale back. Tuck the chin. Support your head and neck. Feet light. Neutral spine. Lots to think about, isn't there? And up. Good. And then if you're doing the chest lift with me, you're going to do one more and stay on the up. Good. Hold it there. Lift one leg to tabletop. Lift the other one. Put one down. Put the other one down. Do that again. Lift up, up, down, down, and then you lay down. We're going to do that one more time. And tuck the chin. Take a little lift. Hold it there. Up, up, down, down. And again. Up, up, down, down. And then you take a little lie down. Big breath. All right. So just roll over to your side and we'll all hop up. That's the way. And then from here, we're just going to come around onto our hands and knees. Crawl around. So we'll line ourselves up with our hand under our shoulders, knees under our hips. Press down through your fingertips. And I want you to think of, see how I've got a bit of an arch there in my back? When I'm here in this position, I just pull my tummy up, not so that I'm rounded, but just so that I'm sort of holding my back, supporting my back. So it's just a feeling of lifting my tummy up away from the floor a little bit. And even that, just holding that shape is a lot of work for my whole body and core, shoulders. Yeah. All right, so what we'll do now is we're going to do an arched shape with our body, which will feel really nice on your back. So I just want you to lift your eyes up, lift your chin up. Let your chest reach forward and up, and your bottom will stick out too. And then we just come back to where we started, to neutral. Again, eyes up, chest up, little arch. Don't overforce it, just let your chest drop down between your shoulders and forward, and then back. Now, if you have osteoporosis, you're going to keep going with that. Otherwise, we all come into an arch shape together. Osteoporosis option is just to stay neutral. Otherwise, we round the back. So just look down at your thighs, let your head go, and really round your back, aiming your tailbone sort of down towards the floor, pulling the tummy up, spreading the shoulder blades. And then we go back into an arch shape. Nice breath in there. Shoulders down away from your ears, and then either to neutral or into a rounded shape. And again, so just arch your body and then either neutral or rounded. Push the floor away if you're in that rounded shape, pulling the tummy up. That's it, and forward. And everyone back to feeling even. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under. And again, I'm going to draw in my tummy a little bit, so I'm feeling that connection here. And with your toes folded under, I'm going to push down with strong arms so I could just hover the knees up. And then I'll softly put them back down. Do that again. I usually breathe out when I lift up. So I push down with my shoulders to lift up, hover the knees. Back and down. And again, exhale. Good. Back and down. And then we're just going to lift and hold for a breath. Hold it there. Hold it. Keep your shoulders broad. One more breath. That's it. And then knees down. Untuck your toes and then just send your hips back. Take a little stretch here. Good. And then just come all the way up onto your knees. Good work. Now from here, we take our arms out to the side, put your thumbs up to the ceiling. And I'm just going to, again, draw in my tummy. So it just feels like it's sort of like tucking in to keep my body still. And then I'm just going to do a little back with the arms. So I'm thinking of moving the shoulder blade. I'm not trying to jam it together or crunch them together. It's just a gliding, getting the shoulder blade moving at the back of you. That's it. Feel that the neck is long at the sides and the back. That's the way. And pause. Then we come forward with the arms, sort of make a rounded shape with your arms, elbows out, and then back to open. And then this time, you can aim the thumbs back and lift your chest a little if that feels nice, and then come forward, and then go back. Thumbs are pointing back this time, and you just let your shoulders drop down. So see my elbows even dropped. So here I am, and then round. Now keep going like that if you have osteoporosis. Otherwise, when you bring the fingertips together, you can send the hips back and make a rounded shape. Really pull the shoulder blades apart. It feels so nice. And then open. And then round. So I'm sending the hips back a little bit, pulling in my tummy, opening up my back. And here. And round. And open. Last one. And open. And back and down. Just like we started, but instead of just going up and down with the shoulders, just lift them up, roll them back and down. And again. Nice deep breath. And that's you all done. Nice work.